Following on Mario Bosque's announcement, new market in the Bronx aisle.
Mayor Mamdani is bringing his discount grocery store to the Bronx.
This store will be the first of the 5 city-run grocery stores to open.
That will take place next year at the Peninsula, a complex on the former site of the Spofford Juvenile Correctional Center. Victoria Melendez lives there and says the closest supermarket is blocks away.
And if I go over there, I'm looking for sales. But how can I consider me having sales when I have to pay an Uber back with my groceries? That's not sale.
The New York City markets will provide discounts on a limited number of goods. Officials say they don't expect it to interfere with nearby grocery store sales. Juliet Papa, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Last month, the administration announced La Marqueta in East Harlem as the first site selected for the municipal grocery store program. Wednesday's time, 12:31. Let's get you where you need to go. Almost back to normal. Here is Jeff Jensen.
We're getting there. Long Island Railroad, the strike ended. However, service won't start until 12 noon today. And then only on the 4 main branches, Babylon, Huntington, Ronkonkoma, and Port Washington. So for the morning hours, shuttle buses will still run from the Bayshore, Hicksville, Huntington, Mineola, and Ronkonkoma stations, and at Hempstead Lake State Park near the Lakeview stations. The shuttles will take you to the A or the F trains, and hopefully by tomorrow night, everything will be back to normal, and we'll have a nice Wednesday morning rush hour on our hands. Right now, it looks like a rush hour in Queens. Heavy traffic on the eastbound side of the LIE, as you come out of the Midtown Tunnel. Slow getting into the tunnel, too, for that matter. But then there's road work right on that, right before you get to the BQE. Then after the BQE, it looks like a problem approaching Woodhaven Boulevard, bumper-to-bumper crawl there. And then you're golden after that, no issues at all. However, if you're taking the southbound Van Wyck, that's pretty jammed up to Atlantic Avenue with overnight work. Only one lane getting by at that spot. And work on the westbound side of the BQE approaching the LIE leaves only the left lane open. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Minor delays both ways to George. Some upper-level work under the apartments outbound. Inbound, the lower is shut. No delays away at the Lincoln Tunnel, and the Holland Tunnel is quiet, too. Jeff Jensen, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Let's get a check of the AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Matt Rindy.
We have a heat advisory in effect for the city and New Jersey suburbs from 11 a.m. today through 8 p.m. Wednesday. Also an air quality alert in effect for today. It's going to be warm early this morning with a low of 72. Hot and humid later today. We'll have sun and a few clouds. High up to 95. That's near the record of 99 set in 1962. There is a chance for a late-day thunderstorm north and west of the city. Very warm Tuesday night, low down to 76. Still hot on Wednesday with sun giving way to clouds. An afternoon or evening thunderstorm could be heavy with damaging wind gusts. High for the day, 93. That's near the record of 96 from 1996. And much cooler on Thursday with maybe some late-day sun and a high of just 70. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Matt Rindy on New York's weather station. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
A development at the Luigi Mangione upcoming trials, a judge ruling that what was found during a backpack search in Pennsylvania will not be allowed to be used as evidence because proper protocol was not followed, and they say his Miranda rights were not read.
Luigi Mangione's backpack search in Altoona, Pennsylvania, McDonald's, Judge Caro said was unwarranted. So the magazine, cell phone, passport, and other items found there will not be included in the evidence once trial starts.
The people failed to demonstrate exigent circumstances.
But he does say what was in the backpack and uncovered at the police station, which does include the gun Mangione was allegedly carrying, will be allowed to be used in court.
The defendant was not in custody until about 9:47 a.m.
Dozens of Mangione's supporters wore green and filled the last 4 rows of the courtroom. The prosecution, defense, and judge will meet again on June 3rd, except this time it'll be a virtual conference. Mary Lynn Buckley, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM, outside of Manhattan Criminal Court.
Mangione was arrested December 9, 2024, 5 days after healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was killed outside a Manhattan hotel. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges. And the latest now in the Murdaugh saga. Down south, Alex Murdaugh has sued the former court clerk who served during his double murder trial, alleging the clerk denied him his right to a fair trial in South Carolina. This days after the state's top court overturned the murder convictions involving his wife, Margaret Maggie Murdaugh, 52, and younger son, Paul Murdaugh, 22, who were found dead from multiple gunshot wounds at the family's estate in 2021. The lawsuit's after $600,000. He continues to deny any involvement in the death. And in the wake of the High Court's decision, South Carolina's Attorney General says he will seek to retry Murdoch. There's word the president reaching a settlement in a lawsuit he filed against the administration that he runs.
In a filing to the judge who's presided over the president's lawsuit against the IRS, 93 House Democrats say a fund paying alleged victims of government weaponization would be plainly unlawful. The Justice Department says its anti-weaponization fund will distribute up to $1.776 billion to those who, in the words of one official, were targeted for improper and unlawful political, personal, or ideological reasons.
Correspondent Stephen Portnoy on the story. Your city, your news, your station. 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good evening, 78 degrees at 1240. I'm Mario Vasquez, and here's what's happening. Back on track, Long Island Railroad rolling again today as the MTA and 5 unions strike a deal. Security at area mosques fortified amid reports of an active shooter at a San Diego Islamic Center. 3 fatalities. Residents cross about Cross Bronx Expressway expansion change their mood. The project was scrapped. A nail in the coffin of Broadway's Beth Becomes are ringing the curtain down for good next month with Back from the Dead right away with a tour. Overnight, mainly clear, warm, low 70. Hot later today. Yankees win, Mets win in 12 innings. Quiz News on Show 41 gets you where you need to go with Jeff Jensen.
Let's go to Queens. Heavy traffic as you come out of the Midtown Tunnel on the Long Island Expressway. That is construction, and up ahead, I can't quite tell what's going on, but we're really jammed up into Queens Boulevard. If you see what's going on, 844-JAM-1010, 526-1010 is our tip line. Southbound Van Wyck is tied up into Atlantic Avenue. Only one lane open. That would be the right lane there. And on the westbound BQE approaching the LIE, only the left lane gets by. Then more heavy traffic approaching Hamilton Avenue. Delays all the way back to Tillery Street. That's roadwork in Brooklyn with only the, only the left lane is getting by there. Here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. It's a full shutdown of the Southern State eastbound, makes it 14 to 17. Slow traffic exiting each way. You might want to consider going up the Hempstead Turnpike or down to Sunrise Highway instead. No troubles on the LIE. Northern State Parkway westbound ramp to the LIE is shut down. That's the one. It exits 37A. That ramp is closed. You have to stay on the Northern State instead. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. No issues at the GWB is away. Lower level closed inbound. Lincoln Tunnel, I don't see any problems either way. Getting on might be an issue off of Route 3, but no delays away at the Holland Tunnel. Jeff Jensen, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM.
Long Island Railroad today, the iron wheels will be rolling again.
Look no further than the LIRR. Service officially back on track. MTA Chair Janel Lieber.
We are so proud to be able to resume what is our core mission, which is to serve those 3 million Long Islanders wherever they need to go.
So the rollout starts at 12 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon at 4 branches. That's Washington, Huntington, Babylon, and Ronkonkoma. By 4 p.m., all branches up and running. Governor Hochul says.
I always believed that we could reach a good, fair compromise.
And Locomotive Union Vice President Kevin Sexton.
We are looking forward to our members getting back to work and doing what they do best, which is serving the region.
They did not disclose details of the deal. Amanda Alexander, 1010 wins on 92.3 FM at MTA headquarters.
On social media, Mayor Mamdani, City Hall, city agencies continue to coordinate, monitor traffic conditions, keep commuters safe, and to support New Yorkers. Want more details as they become available, so stay with us here on 1010 Wins and for the latest on traffic, transit on the ones. Mosque security here in the city intensified, although no connection established at this point, but officials do respond to that fatal shooting at the mosque in San Diego and shoring up security here.
2 gunmen allegedly opened fire at the mosque, killing 3 adults, including a security guard. All the children at the center were evacuated safely. Mark Renelli, special agent in charge of the FBI San Diego field office, says shortly afterward they discovered a car with the suspected shooters dead of apparently self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
There were 2 subjects, both teenagers, and both were confirmed deceased.
Police are now investigating a potential motive, but said the shooting is currently being considered a hate crime. The Islamic Center of San Diego says it is the largest mosque in San Diego County.
The social media messages from the NYPD saying they're monitoring reports of the shooting at the Islamic Center. No nexus here, but they're increasing deployments to mosques across the city. Horse carriage overturned in Central Park yesterday, injuring the driver. Shop steward TWU Local 100 Christina Hansen had this to say.
There was a horse that was dropping off customers at the end of the line, and the horse startled, pulled out of the line, crossed wheels to the other carriage, tipped the carriage over.
That is from WABC 7 Eyewitness News just before 5. Yesterday afternoon at the entrance to the park, officials say at 7:59, both horses described as uninjured. Renewing calls, though, for riders, law advocates calling the incident a, quote, completely preventable horse crash. Residents cross about a cross-Bronx Expressway expansion changed their mood after the production was scrapped.
The state heard the concerns from residents like Tiffany Thorpe.
I already have children that have asthma that weren't born with asthma.
She lives right near the Cross Bronx and says the plan to add more highway space to accommodate upgrades to 5 bridges along the highway would have only made things worse.
1, the extra traffic, and 2, the construction of the 5th lane in the bridge.
The DOT says the long-term safety of the highway is still a top priority. Thorpe is okay with repairs, but says construction is a whole different story.
We can tell it's because of the work that we put in as a community.
Mac Rosenberg's 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
The president putting the brakes on for now on Iran, but that nation seemingly unruffled at the threat of restarting any action.
The president had not publicly mentioned a military strike tomorrow, but on social media, he now says it's on hold at the request of Mideast allies. Still, the president says he's told the Pentagon to be ready for a full large-scale assault on a moment's notice if no acceptable deal is reached. He had warned Tehran the clock was ticking for it to make a deal. Iran's foreign ministry shrugged off the president's threats this morning, saying Tehran is well-versed on how to respond. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Lebanon's health ministry says the death toll in the latest round of fighting between Israel and Iranian-backed Hezbollah in Lebanon has gone past 3,000 lives lost, despite the ceasefire described as well as fragile. 20 Israeli soldiers, 2 Israeli civilians inside Israel, and a defense contractor working in southern Lebanon have also been killed on the Israeli side. Amid word UN peacekeeping forces in southern Lebanon have also been caught in crossfire. 6 have lost their lives. Developments in the Luigi Mangione case, a gun and notebook prosecutors say link the deadly healthcare CEO shooting suspect in the case that can be used as evidence at his trial for murder. A ruling from the judge today, yesterday. Judge Gregory Carroll, New York County Supreme Court.
I find that the search of the backpack at the McDonald's was improper, warrantless search, that the backpack was not within the immediate control or grabbable area of the defendant.
Those are the items the judge excluded. However, he did allow items found as officers inventoried contents later at the police station, including a 3D printed pistol prosecutors say matches the one used to kill Thompson, and a notebook they say describes wanting to, as they put it, whack a health insurance executive. Mangione's state murder trial set to begin on the 8th of September, and his federal trial, which involves stalking charges as well, on the 13th of October. The federal judge ruled all of the backpack's contents into evidence. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. A congressional candidate in Brooklyn says it should not be left up to Puerto Ricans to only care about and advocate for improving conditions in Puerto Rico. Speaking of an event outlining his policy agenda on the island, if elected to represent New York's 7th District in Congress, making Puerto Rico policy a central element of his congressional campaign is Antonio Reynoso, congressional candidate, Brooklyn.
You can find stories every single day of the hardships of Puerto Ricans on the island and the lack of accountability and support from the